This is part 2 in a series discussing sex with robots, sex doll, ethics of sex robots and sex doll, and as a rebuttal to a movement called the Campaign Against Sex Robot. The Campaign Against Sex Robots seeks to ban sex robots, ostensibly on ethical grounds, but the arguments that they make don't really sound as if they have anything to do with ethics. The arguments are weak and actually not very well constructed. They're very flimsy. They're flimsy at best. So I wanted to take a moment to discuss some of the actual issues of ethics as it relates to sex dolls, sex robots, and having sex with these items. And it seems to me that one very legitimate reason why somebody would want to pursue sex with robots or sex dolls is safety. Clearly, there are many safety issues when it comes to having sex with a human female. There are all kinds of safety issues. Number one, if you seek sex from humans, you're going to be walking around wanting humans. You're going to be walking around lusting, basically. And lust is considered a sin. And so you're automatically a sinner simply by going out and trying to find a mate, which is a natural human function. So men have been guilted, basically doomed to a world of guilt simply because of their biology. They're the ones who are expected to go out and seek a mate, and in order to seek a mate, it seems very reasonable that you would want that person physically. This is also known as lust, and unfortunately lust is a sin in many religions. And so men have always been vilified as perverts, when in reality all they're doing is performing a natural biological function, which is inherent to their biology as males who are going out and seeking to mate and reproduce with a female. Now, being filled with lust was always frowned upon, but nowadays, it can get you into a lot of trouble. It can get you into a whole lot of trouble. If you're walking around full of lust, people are going to call you a pervert, a rapist, a misogynist, all kinds of nasty things. They can get you fired from your job, and bad things can happen to you. So there's this issue of lust. There's also issues of it's not safe. It is simply not safe to walk around wanting females who don't want to be wanted. I mean, on the one hand, they do want people to want them because they want attention. They crave attention. But on the other hand, as soon as somebody actually wants them, then they feel victimized and they want to take retribution against the person who wanted them. So there's a catch-22 and you really can't win. This is almost universal. It puts men in a real legal position where they are vulnerable socially, legally, and financially. And so it's definitely a safety issue for men. Another problem with safety as it relates to seeking companionship from a human female is female wrath. Females can be extremely vindictive, and when it gets into if you have a conflict with a female, it turns into what they call a domestic disturbance. Traditionally, the man has always been the one who went to jail whenever there's a domestic disturbance. This is almost an automatic response from the police, that if the police showed up at your house for a domestic disturbance, that the man would go to jail. In recent years in the United States, police have wised up to this a little bit, and they realize that, a lot of the females in these situations are the ones who are actually the aggressor, and so they don't automatically take the man to jail, but there's a great likelihood that he will go to jail or he will be blamed. And so a woman knows that she can initiate a domestic disturbance, or she can bully you any way she wants, and the police and the government have got her back because she can push it to the limit. She can push an argument to the limit where it turns into a violent confrontation, and basically she feels confident because all she's got to do is dial 911 and the goon squad will come and they will take your ass to jail. So it's almost as if she has police power in that relationship. This is not a safe thing for men. Okay? This is not safe. It's not justice, and it's not safe. It puts men in a very unsafe position when dealing with human females. Okay, another thing to talk about with respect to safety is the safety, women's safety. When it comes to women's safety, they want to be able to carry their mace, their pistols, their weapons, their little pokers, all kinds of little tools for their beepers, their whistles, all kinds of things for their own personal safety. But when it comes to the safety of men, nobody's really thinking about that. A doll can be seen as a safety device for men who wish to not associate with human females, because human females have become so incredibly toxic that you really don't want to associate with them at all. You don't want to have sex with them. You don't want to be friends with them. You don't want them texting you or calling you on the phone. You don't even want to be, going out to dinner with them or anything. And if you choose to go your own way and to just be alone, if this is what you want for the reasons of safety, then this is really a perfectly legitimate option that people can select. And what Dr. Kathleen Richardson is doing is depriving men of their safety. She's depriving men of their ability to simply walk away, to be on their own. She's forcing them into an unsafe situation. I don't think that women would like it very much if we put a ban on rape whistles, or if we put a ban on mace, or if we told women that it's illegal for them to carry a hat pin in self-defense, or that it's illegal for any female to use any self-defense device or weapon of any kind. I think they'd be pretty outraged. And the sex dolls and the sex robots for men really are a safety device, which allows men to basically go off on their own. There are so many hazards with respect to human females that it's almost impossible to list them all in a single video or discussion like this, but I'm just going to cover a couple. And one of the big ones is a false rape accusation. Let's just talk just about the accusation itself. There are some women who have histrionic personality disorder, and what that means is that they will love bomb you during the initial phase when they first meet you, because it's such an attention-getting thing. They're very sexually promiscuous in the initial phase of the relationship, and it's all about getting attention. Then they quickly get bored with you, and then at the end comes the discard phase where they throw you away like a paper towel or whatever. At that stage, they still want that attention because they're narcissists. They need narcissistic supply. So they invent a false rape accusation. So they're getting a massive boost of attention on the way in and on the back end when they terminate the relationship. Some women are extreme narcissists, and so you have to be very cautious in life to avoid these false rape accusations of any kind. Women are experts at accusing men of the most ridiculous bullshit. It's very annoying that they can get a man fired from his job or ostracized, or they can spread rumors and lies, and basically this is their witchcraft, trying to destroy other people with their lies and their bullshit, just invented fucked up stories that don't have any bearing in reality. It's not nice to be around these people. It's not nice to have them whispering behind your back. They're going to do it even if they're nice to you, to your face. A lot of times they're going to do it behind your back, whether you know it or not. They can't help it. This is a major hazard for men, and it is definitely a safety issue, because if people are spreading rumors and gossip and lies, somebody could actually act upon those lies and cause you some harm. So this is really a very serious safety issue for men, the fact that these false accusations are spread around in private circles, and sometimes they just get blown out all over the internet or in public spaces, on TV, etc. If somebody makes a very serious accusation of like a false rape accusation, the police can get involved and it can result in a false rape conviction. You could actually wind up going to prison for having done nothing at all. This is definitely a safety issue for men, okay? This is a very unsafe thing because your life will literally be destroyed. If you go to prison for some kind of sexual crime, even if you didn't do it, nobody's going to believe you. And if you get locked up for some shit like that, there's a pretty good chance you're going to wind up dead. Even if you do get released after having suffered through this false imprisonment, once you get released, you're never going to be able to get a job. You're never going to be able to find an apartment. Nobody's going to rent to you. You won't have any money. You'll be broke. You'll basically be homeless for the rest of your life. Your life will be literally destroyed. And you'll probably either freeze to death, starve to death, or commit suicide. And nobody's going to care. They're just going to think it's a big joke. And these are the tender-hearted, kind, nurturing females who are doing this bullshit. This is an enormous safety issue for men. And when men could potentially choose to go their own way and be with a sex robot or a sex doll for safety reasons, I think it is extremely unethical for Dr. Kathleen Richardson to even contemplate depriving anybody of a sex doll or a sex robot. She is a mad woman. It is utterly insane and totally unethical to tamper with the rights of others. These people of the campaign against sex robots are completely and totally out of their minds. They have zero credibility. Another problem that women pose, another threat that they pose to men, is mental health, because women really, they just don't respect men. They've been trained to never respect a man. And so they like to henpeck and play games and do all kinds of stupid things. The crazy bullshit of batshit crazy females can literally drive you insane, especially if they've got a lot of control over you in your life. It can push you into a mental illness. And it's no joke that a lot of men wind up killing themselves. It is absolutely no joke that male suicide is an enormous cause of death for males. And it has to be regarded as a major safety issue with respect to dealing with human females. There's the risk of unplanned pregnancies. And if you do have a baby, she's going to take you to court. She's going to get half your money or more, and you're going to be paying for a long, long time. There are even men who've been ordered by the court to pay for children which weren't even theirs. There have been so many injustices against against men in the family courts, paying child support, that you risk poverty, and if you can't pay up, they send you to jail. There's a story about a guy who went to jail because he couldn't pay his child support, and he was standing in line for breakfast in this jail, in this prison, and he got into a little bit of a fist fight with somebody else, and a dude just punched him right in the face, and he fell over dead. I'm telling you, if you go to prison, even if it's for one of these stupid child support things, they're going to stick you in with nasty people. You could literally wind up dead, even for just something stupid like child support. This is an enormous safety issue for men. And Dr. Kathleen Richardson is a complete incompetent boob not to recognize this simple fact that if men want to be off on their own, if they want solitude from females, they have every right and every ethical reason to be alone and to be separate from females. It is unbelievable that these people would even contemplate banning sex robots. And there's just two more things I want to mention. One major ethical issue with respect to sex robots and sex dolls is global overpopulation, the risk of creating an unwanted pregnancy, and the risk of overpopulating this planet. This planet is already overpopulated. The carbon footprint of humanity on this planet is enormous. We've had a huge, devastating environmental impact. The pollution floating in the oceans, the plastics, the destruction of habitat, and vanishing species becoming extinct. There's been so much damage to the oceans and the coral reefs, and it's all due to our consumerism. And unfortunately, it's just not sustainable. We cannot continue to create more humans and put more humans onto this finite planet. It simply is not possible. So as a way of curbing global population growth and the population explosion, one technique that might work would be to simply allow men to have sex with robots and sex dolls, because this cannot result in a pregnancy. Dr. Kathleen Richardson is a complete moron and an idiot for not realizing that this is a solution to so many problems relating to sustainability, pollution, environment, global warming, and the carbon footprint of humanity on this planet. She is a complete moron for not recognizing this, and it is absolutely unbelievable that somebody like her could say that it's unethical to have a robot or a sex doll simply because of her narcissistic desire to harass men. But there's just one or two other things I want to talk about with respect to safety, because these things are very, very real. It is a safety issue for men to be involved in any type of domestic disturbance or domestic issue with a female. If there's a female that you get along with really, really well, she's a really cool person, and you don't think there's any chance of her causing any drama and starting any fistfights or wrecking the house or burning down the house or doing anything really crazy, if you guys have a relationship, then God bless you. But you know what? A lot of females can't do that. A lot of females can't live that way. A lot of females thrive on drama. A lot of them are addicted to drugs. A lot of them are narcissists. Some of them are into all kinds of weird shit. Wicca, witchcraft, voodoo, Satanism, drugs, heroin, crack, crystal meth, prostitution, all types of weird, exotic bullshit. All these things are extremely unsafe to be around because these people will suck you in. If you get hooked up with a female narcissist who's very controlling, she's not going to allow you to have your own political opinions. A lot of women today are into communism, socialism, things like that. They're very radical feminism, which really just boils down to the hatred of men, the hatred of society, the hatred of everything. These are unsafe people for men to associate with. Extremely unsafe. These are toxic people. They're dangerous, and they can do stupid things to cause your destruction. And if they do cause your destruction, I can guarantee they're not going to feel bad about it. To them, it's just a game. It's like a game. It's like they're playing whack-a-mole, destroying men by playing whack-a-mole. It's like a first-person shooter game. They're just going through society, destroying men one at a time, either through lies and gossip or narcissistic games. So that's my take on ethics as it relates to sex robots and sex dolls. I think Dr. Kathleen Richardson doesn't have the first clue what she's talking about when she speaks of ethics. It's absolutely unbelievable to me that here we have this device which could actually curb population growth, population explosion, and could reverse all the damage that we've done to the ecosystem and the planet by controlling the population explosion and curbing the reproduction rate of the human species by putting a cap on it, allowing people a birth control device for men. And all she can think about is her impunity toward men, how much she hates men, how much she despises men. And that's the reason why she would like to ban these robots. Clearly, she is a very sick woman, very, very sick. So I hope you enjoyed this discussion of the true story of ethics as it relates to robots, sex dolls, and men's issues. And safety is a primary concern for every man. So I hope you'll consider these words and have a great day. Thank you.